This week on Trees in Space, Jason and I watched the 2003 rated R comedy drama Tiptoes. I'm
Um,
Nate, and that's Jason. Jason, how are you this fine Monday?
I am perfectly wonderful, and I did not realize it was made in 2003.
Yeah,
That just that's 20 over 20 years ago,
yeah,
and
22 years ago.
I don't think any of these actors have aged a day.
Kate Beckinsale has a little bit. Matthew McConaughey looks exactly the same.
He does. He does.
Um, but well, let's pump our brakes for a second. Let's tell everybody what this movie is about because this is the first time that Jason and I have seen this movie. So, Tiptoes, it's a quirky romantic drama that takes a deep dive into the complexities of love, family, and acceptance.
Uh, Complexities is probably a good word to use. Um, Go ahead, you. But I can see you want to say something, and I'm kind of like fumbling for my words right now.
So, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. I'm going to pull my boxing gloves off. This is a bare knuckle fight fest for this movie. This movie was all over the place. Uh, Start to finish, they rushed things. They didn't finish like structure. It it made me believe that I could direct a movie.
I want to say the director is the same as the writer. I think the writer and the director are the same person. And the best way I can describe this movie, as far as structure goes, is blurry. I don't know if that works because the cinematography was fine. You could see everything just fine. So not visually, but
Yeah, the
scripturally, is that a word? I guess it is now. It was just where am I
like
going with this?
I appreciated the fact that this movie used um fades,
Hmm.
which represents a period of time passing. Because this movie, uh, it stars Matthew McConaughey, who and his girlfriend, fiance, Kate Beckinsale. They're gonna have
Carol.
Carol, and she's a painter. But if you notice in the scene in the beginning, her
Mm,
paint palette was dry.
I didn't know that.
Her paintbrushes had no paint on there, and she just kept going on the same spot on the freaking painting. So
And she's always been gorgeous, but I forgot how gorgeous she was.
she was so pretty, so cute.
She really is.
Like, sweetheart.
Hmm. It was just a very
I felt for her. I will say this. The saving grace of this movie was on the back of Kate Beckinsale and Rolf,
yeah. Well,
whoever
it's
that
my
actor.
brother's name. Yeah. So it was very um, unlike most of the movies that we see on our show here. This movie probably could have benefited from maybe 10 extra minutes spattered out throughout the movie to stretch certain things out
It
to make
needed
the hour
more.
and 40. Yeah, need a little bit more to feel like it should.
There was no there was it was like a seven-course meal, but you only get the dessert.
Yeah, it was really weird because, and I know Nate said what it was basically about, but what it is we have Matthew McConaughey, who's a full-grown person.
Yep.
He's the twin of a little person, and he's gonna have a baby with his girlfriend, and he didn't tell his girlfriend that he has genetically has that chromosomes in his body that will give out,
Well,
dwarfism, and
right.
his parents are dwarves also.
I was gonna
And that's
say,
the word they used. That's the words they used.
yeah, and I have always bumped into the thing of calling dwarfs little people
Hmm.
because I feel like that's demeaning.
I think so too. Matter of fact, when I was watching it with my daughter, Jocelyn, she goes, I don't think they're allowed to be called little people anymore. I said, no, I think they just want to be called people.
I would hope, yeah. Um, I couldn't believe
Of
how
course, it was
many
20 years ago.
I couldn't believe how many short actors there were.
I know, I recognized a lot of them.
I was shocked. I loved Peter Dinklage's motorcycle and that whole dynamic too. Like it was telling too many stories also at one point because Peter Dinklage, as soon as he got on camera, it like attracts like a fucking magnet. And
Yeah, he
that
steals every
whole
scene he's in.
yeah, and that like all of that took overshadowed a lot of plots. Like I want to know more about him more than the story that they're presenting. And like you mean to tell me that you've been dating this person for so long that you're engaged, but you haven't talked about your families? Your
Yeah,
parents even never met?
that was
Like that all seemed very weird.
it really did. Well, of course, he was, I think, embarrassed of his family. That's why he didn't invite her at the very beginning of the movie to the family reunion, if you will,
A gala thing, yeah.
gala. And you're right with the Peter Dinklage's character, who's French, by the way.
Hmm.
He was just there here and there and like just spouting like just almost like revolutionary type things. He's a Marxist and things of that sort. And
And
it's very shallow. And
he
he could
didn't
have
even
been a
need
lot
to be
deeper.
there.
No, that
He
whole
had no,
character.
yeah, that whole story between him and the drifter had nothing to do. Like
No,
that could have totally not been a point. Uh,
exactly. That's what I was saying. I was like, there's no point for these people to be here because they give nothing to the story. They take away from the actual story. And I think the writer, and I said this when I was watching it, was worked so hard to get conflict that he didn't build the conflict. It's just like one sentence was said and all of a sudden there's a conflict. It
right.
didn't slowly build to a conflict.
There it was edging me the whole time.
Yes.
Like I couldn't get to the satisfaction of a climax. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't there was no real build. Like it goes from she's about to blow him.
Yes.
Hey, I think I'm pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pregnant. Here's the baby. I
They,
can't
they
handle it.
got married in between there though.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They got married. They had the baby. And then I can't handle this. We need to separate to
Right.
I am now in therapy and ends with
You can kiss me if you want to.
yes.
I'm doing all right. I'm working on it. I'm trying to be the man that you want me to.
You gotta want it too, Steven.
You know what? I do want it. I love you.
I know that. I've never doubted that for a moment. Well,
What?
you can kiss me if you want.
What the fuck is this movie?
I don't know. And that's another thing. Gary Oldman, who's a great actor, plays the dwarf brother, the little person brother.
Wonderful. Did
I
great.
think they did a really good job of making him look like because he's not a little person. So whatever kind of CGI or whatever they did to make his legs not be there, and I thought they did a great job of that.
Yeah.
And, but it was like they didn't even know their own roles. Like they didn't know their like most actors have to know their selves and the character to play it well. It's like none of them did. Like the director didn't know how to direct these wonderful actors.
And freaking Matthew McConaughey seemed like he was in an entirely different movie.
Yeah, well, it's probably because he was also a minor.
Because like he like when she was talking to him on the phone and dude was like, "Oh yeah, I got invited to this party, or we got invited to this house party. You should come." And he's like, "Yeah, okay." And then he throws his phone in the woods.
Yeah, because he didn't want her to be around that, and that's nothing. Okay, he says that he throws a phone, and this one woman who walks up in the woods, and he says, "Do you want to go to a party?" So I'm like, "Oh
Yeah,
my God, is he cheating on her?" Which he wasn't.
that's what I thought too.
But and then they get there together. It's one of his students, and the other student was there. He's a
Yep.
firefighter, and they go, "Oh, I want to go meet this famous person," and then that's all you see with that.
Yeah, that's it.
And then
The
you want,
friends go away. They're not even
yeah,
there anymore.
and then famous person they wanted to see, winds up having sex with the dwarf's brother's girlfriend. It's like what they're
Who
trying to build up some sort of drama, and it's not working.
who also reverse back got his ass beat by some Portuguese guy,
Yeah, something.
dirty
Yes,
outfit, because he thought that they were sleeping together, but like this girlfriend is a slut, and then she's at the wedding.
yes.
Like,
And then she just disappears into nothing, and not literally disappears, but story wise, just don't see her again.
yeah,
And he's somehow staying in this cabin out in the majestic woods, beautiful cabin with a hot tub. How he has his money, I don't. I guess he got published on something. He said,
he's a writer.
and Peter Dinklage's character is there with his girlfriend that he met at the very beginning of the movie, who I
After
love.
she
About
got kicked off a bus.
yes, that's Patricia Arquette. Um, and I was like, what? I don't understand. I had a very hard time understanding how it was getting from point A to point B so fast.
Right. It rushed through probably really good story points that could have been built. Like really honestly, after watching this movie, I feel like I could make a movie.
Mm. I
Like if
think
I had
that
a script, fuck yeah, I can make this movie.
after watching this, I think you could write the script. I don't think there's a problem with writing the script because apparently in a lot of these movies, you're just like, okay, this is what you want to get to. This is the conversation you want to have. How do I get this conversation? Okay, the conversation I want to have is like, I want this guy to be yelling at him because this man told his wife that he loved him or something. But how do I get that? How you doing, brother? I'm okay. I need to talk to you. About what? Well, I think you might like my wife. Well, I love your wife. Fucking fuck, 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 fuck. It's like that's how it went. It was just, it was very slow, and the one all of a sudden,
Yeah,
boom.
it I I don't know. I could probably go on trash from this movie for 2 hours,
Probably. And
but
there was good parts though.
we don't have that kind of time. So let's go ahead and find out what the audience thinks about this movie. Here are the 5-star and 1-star below reviews. The first 5-star review comes from Thomas D. This film is a masterpiece that is beyond its time. It stands on a pedestal looking down on the subpar cinema below it. If you don't appreciate this film, you should question your love for movies. 100 stars is I could.
According to this gentleman, I am questioning my love for movies.
According to this, that 5-star review could be about anything.
It could be. And I think he wrote the movie.
He probably did. He probably
But
invented.
the way that was written is very similar to the way that this one was. And I'll get that later. But anyways, the first 1-star review is from Jeremy J. Absolute garbage. Garbage plot, beautiful casting, but abhorrent acting, very weird dialogue, and cinematography. I loved the little people, though. The ending was horrible.
Yes, and it. I knew it was coming. I knew.
Yeah,
I knew it from as soon as he said, "You can stay here as long as you like."
Jocelyn saw it like prior to that, even before the baby was born.
Well, when she at the wedding, she goes over and kisses him on the lips.
Yes, that was weird.
I was like,
And
"What the fuck is this?"
what I picked up on was where Jeremy J here says that the dialogue was really weird. It was because Carol was
Yeah,
using words that people don't use. I'm bewildered. The lady with the braids in her hair, the straggler, that was picked up, she would use those kind of words. Her character would say bewildered and those kind of odd things. Not Carol. It was like, why would you? It's like he was typing it and says, I need a different word than saying I'm confused. What's a different word? Bewildered. Let me put that in there.
Yeah,
It did not work.
no. Uh, the next 5-star review comes from Unknown. Here's the deal, man. I picked this movie up at the Falcon Car Wash after my dentist appointment. It cured my neuropathy. My favorite part is when Conrad, the leader of the Four Strokes gang, taught Mark to not be stingy and gave him a lease on a key. And I always enjoy Ed Asner. Also, Garth Brooks really knocks the soundtrack into the stands. Try it out. I want to watch this movie.
I don't know a movie
I want to know what this movie is.
where Brooks is the soundtrack when Asner's in it. And now I want to know what this car wash is. And I think I need to look up neuropathy.
And what's the deal with the dentist appointment? What is this like? I
I
think
don't,
you picked the wrong movie, sir.
I think he did. Or maybe he's just having fun with us and trolling us.
Maybe. But again, I would rather see this movie than the one that we just watched.
I think you're right. The next one-star review is from Belladonna S. Completely rotten. Do not recommend unless you are bored and there is no paint to watch dry or grass to watch grow.
Oh my goodness. You know, I thought some movies in our past were bad.
Mm,
I can't believe I could find 5-star reviews.
you know what? I've actually watched paint dry before.
Same.
I've painted the walls and like waiting for it to dry, watch it dry so I can paint it again. I've done it.
It's just like waxing the floor too. You
Mm-hmm.
sit there and watch it so nobody steps on it and it's like, oh, get the dirt, dust off of it. No.
Mm-hmm.
The last 5-star review comes from Unknown. I watched this movie with Leo when he came up in May, and after he showed me where it spits, and I had to go to Falcon Car Wash to get a haircut and my dead tooth removed. This shouldn't be have a 20% audience score. It deserves 100%.
Um, it's the same guy, right? It gotta be the same guy.
It's gotta be.
It's
What are
what's
the
the
chances?
chances of two people going to the same place and mentioning the dentist? I, I don't know who Leo is,
Leo.
but you have a really cool friend. I like your friend. These are some good things for Falcon Car Wash. I wonder
Maybe
where that's at.
I want to know where the Falcon Car Wash is.
Me too. And Ned Asner. So the last one-star review we have is from Jen M. I've never written a review before, but this was a dumpster fire of a movie. How do you take this cast and completely trash the whole movie? It only got worse as the movie went on. Quote, you had a circle jerk with little people? I wish I could have seen that. End quote. Is a line now burned into my brain.
I forgot
90
about that.
minutes of my life I will never get back. Do not watch.
Oh my God, I forgot about that scene. I
I know. I was like, that's not what a circle jerk is.
I go like this. I go, the fuck? Oh
Well,
my
that's
God.
not, he was saying that they would get together and play parties and play doctor and stuff. And she said the circle jerk. Well, that's not what a circle jerk is.
No,
Playing doctor with opposite sex in a circle is not a circle jerk.
no, she isn't. She's British,
Well, like the writer obviously didn't know what was.
clearly. Uh, the WTF review comes from Danny Y. It's a 4-star review from
Oh,
December 3rd, 2024. Not a bad movie at all. Just came up a little short.
it's such a dad joke, such a dad pun, and it's so offensive. And I was laughing, which is why I put my head down because I didn't want nobody to see that. That was that was just a little.
And,
Boom.
uh, well, you heard us talk about the movie. We've heard from you at home. Let's go ahead and see what Rotten Tomatoes and the audience scored this movie. The critics, guess us, rated this at 22%, while you at home, the audience, rated this at 23%.
So
Jason,
everyone pretty much agrees.
yeah, are you down here in the rocks in the subterranean basement, or do you feel like this movie was a little bit better than this?
Well, because in my brain, we do the five trees.
Mm,
And for me, it's basically every stump is 10.
right.
So 10, 20. So because it's basically a 20, a 10 score thing we do here, even though we do trees and then stumps. So that would be one tree. Uh, I think I'm gonna be a little more generous than that.
Let's go ahead and get into what we thought and ranked this movie. Um, I enjoyed Kate Beckinsale's character for the most part. I liked how she dug into what it was to have a dwarf child. Doing the research, getting to know like she put in so much into that relationship, and she was able to carry this film. Um, there were aspects of it that I did enjoy, but it wasn't enough for me to really like this movie. With that, I would not recommend this to my surgeon, and I will give this one tree.
Now it's my turn.
Okay, let me start saying first off that my daughter watched it with me, and she said that she'd give it two trees and a stump,
Wow.
even though she didn't like it. I would not recommend it to my surgeon at all. Like you said, Kate Beckinsale actually had a growth, an arc. She's the
Mhm.
only one that had an arc.
She,
I guess Matthew McConaughey kind of had like a backwards one, but she definitely had a growing arc, and everyone else was just still kind of filling in the blanks. They had a great cast.
Stealth.
I still everyone I thought did a great job in their, they're all acting, and I believe every last one of them. I think the writing was poor. I think the cinematography was good in parts, but it was really weird, especially when he was like doing a close up of her face during that phone call. Don't know what that was about. So and then they had this dramatic music for no good reason. It was like a soap opera. It was just kind of like I said, blurry.
Yeah.
It was confusing. Um, and I just I it has redeeming qualities, but not something I'd watch again. I'm going to be right around with everyone else, but just a little bit higher. I'm going to give it one tree, one stump.
Well, there you have it, folks. It's not the worst movie we've ever watched, apparently, but I'm really reconsidering what I rated Strays after watching this movie. Uh, if you enjoyed this movie or didn't enjoy this movie, please let us know what you thought about this movie. We'd love to hear from you. Uh, until next time, I've been Nate. That's been Jason. This has been Trees in Space. We'll see you on Monday. Take care, everybody.